Alright guys, what sold video for today? I am going to show you definitely some brands that I think a lot of resellers overlook that I have been picking up that did sell for me, so make sure you stick around to see what those are. If you're new here, my name is Heather and I am a full-time reseller. I go by the Canary Closet everywhere. I do 4 reseller videos a week now, so if you're interested in learning more about reselling, how to make more money, please consider subscribing down below and give this video a thumbs up. Before we get into it, I do want to talk to you guys about a giveaway that I have from the company Jadens printer. So I am going to be giving away 1, possibly 2. We will see how this one goes. This is a pink Jadens portable wireless A4 printer. I'm going to insert a little bit of video when I opened it up. And I'm going to give it away to one of my viewers, so I'm really excited about that. Let me just show you the website here real quick. So this is the printer that you will be receiving. This is a PDA4 Bluetooth thermal portable printer. You can print out all kinds of things with this. So it gives you different styles of paper. So it does tell you right here how it's setting up. It goes by a battery, and then it's like apparently it's a really long lasting battery, and you can print out stickers, labels. Oops, sorry about that. So you can see all the paper sizes here. So really easy, great for your business. I definitely would recommend using a thermal printer for your business if you don't already. It saves you a ton of time for your reselling business. So all you need to do to enter to win this free thermal printer is to go ahead and make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Make sure you thumbs up this video and leave a comment down below of why you are wanting this printer for your business. Also, go on over to Instagram and make sure you are following me there. So once you have done those 4 things, just go ahead and when you put your comment down below, just let me know why you want the printer and that you've done all 4 things. I will filter those through. I'll probably do about 5 days or so before I do the giveaway, just to give enough time for people to watch the video. And I'm excited about that. This company also did say that they would send someone a giveaway printer as well. So they will send one, and I have one here at home. So what I'm kind of deciding is, do I want to keep this for a backup, or do I want to head and just give away 2? I think I want to give away 2 because I want to be able to give you guys free stuff, and I really appreciate you guys supporting my channel. So make sure you do all of that. If you want it, it'd be great. Again, if you already have one for a backup, it's always good to have backups of stuff, or if you have a friend, maybe you're a family member that resells or that could use it. Okay, let's get into the sales. Sales are pretty good this week. I did make an average of $245.45 per day, so I'm really happy about that. No sales on Depop though, so let me know if you guys sell on Depop. How were your sales this week? Because mine were not it. Did, however, have some great sales on Mercari. So first up, I sold these Skinify leggings. These sold for $38.25. This was a really quick sale. I believe they sold in a few hours. They are a resistance band brand, kind of a compression legging. I always pick these up when I see them, and they usually sell really quickly, so I was happy about that. I also sold this bundle for $50. This was 2 Ming Wang jackets, or actually, I'm completely done. I have a Ming Wang bundle on a different platform. These are 2 Catherine's shirts for $50, guys. So Catherine's is one of the brands that a lot of people will pass over. I was selling it for a little while. I slowed down. I have picked it back up. I'm being a little bit more picky with style, size, colors, seasonality. So these ones, this is great. $50 for 2 Catherine shirts. Amazing. Next up, I sold this Lululemon skirt for $34. This was the Pace Rival skirt. It was in a neon yellow color. It wasn't a smaller size, size 2, but these athletic skirts are really trending right now. So definitely went ahead and grabbed that. I also grabbed these men's On Cloud, or I sold these men's On Cloud shoes. These are in a size 14. These sold for $37.50 very quickly. They were a little bit dirty, so I went ahead and threw them in the wash. So a nice quick sale there. And then I sold this Scarlet Darkness dress. This sold for $28. This was like a steampunk Victorian cloak. This was new with tags. Had some like corset detail on the back. So that was a pretty quick sale. It looks like that this brand doesn't sell for a ton, but I would still pick it up if it's new or like a really good style. Okay, I need to contact this because I don't think they've paid me for this yet. That Spanx shirt. Or the Crocs sandals. Okay, so the last thing we have here is this Helmet Lang sweater that sold this past week. This sold for $22.50. I have had this for a while. Helmet Lang is a really expensive brand, but in my experience, it doesn't resell the best. It seems to resell pretty slow and not for a ton. So still happy it sold. $22.50, great week on Mercari. I made $162 profit. I will share all of my numbers at the end of the video. Before we get into my other sales, I do want to make sure to talk to you guys about PrimeLister, which is the company that I use for my my automation. And I did do some kind of experiments with it this week. So I know I talked about how I don't relist very often, but I started trying to do it a little bit this week. So I've only done it for a couple of days. The days when I did do it, I felt like I was getting more sales, but I don't know. I haven't done a true test. So anyway, PrimeLister, here's what you can do. We're going to talk about Poshmark automation here. You can do lots of automations with it. You can share your closet, which you should not be wasting your own time doing this. Community share if you want to share people's backs, relists, offers to likers, party share, return follow, and follow new closets. So with the relists, you can go ahead and you can set up how often you want to do it and how many items you want to do every hour. You can customize all of this stuff. Offers to likers, my favorite feature. This one, I do 2 minutes and I do a 20% off discount if I've had it for longer than 90 days. 14% discount, just a random number I pulled out. I wanted it to be higher than 10, lower than 20. That one is for stuff that I've had for 0 to 3 months. So super great. This makes me lots of money on Poshmark. I did make over $600 profit this week on Poshmark thanks to PrimeLister. So if you guys haven't signed up yet, use the discount code. There's going to be a link in the description and it's going to be the pinned comment. You can click on that to save money in your first month and try it out. At least try it out if you don't use the Poshmark automation. It will definitely help get more eyes on all of your items and make you more money. So try that out. Highly recommend. Would not run my business without it. Let's go to Poshmark. Okay, so this is the 2nd through the 8th of May. I sold this North Face jacket for only $13. I have had this for a while. This was a women's size small. It was the Monarch Tri-Climate jacket. Maybe, I think I listed this toward the end of winter, or maybe actually the beginning. I don't know, but it was just sitting around for a while. I have spent a little bit more money on some yard stuff, some gardening stuff this past week. I've said I was going to say I'm taking my daughter out for Mother's Day, which sounds weird, but ever since we've been little, or she's been little, we've done pedicures together on Mother's Day, and now it's like she's an adult, but I'm still paying for it, but I'm like, who cares? At least I get to spend time with my daughter. So anyway, extra expenses than normal this week. So that being said, I am trying to take more offers, like maybe even lower ones. So not anything like a low ball, but if you guys are interested, I am a little bit more open this weekend to lower offers. So that being said, you will see a little bit of lower sales, but you also see some great ones. This is an REI Co-op sweatshirt jacket. This sold for $20. Does seem like the REI Co-op or REI Cooperative sells a little bit better for me than just regular REI. Not sure if it's newer. Let me know if you guys know about that. I'm not exactly sure. This was a bundle of 2 items for $50. Weirdly, for some reason, I had a Instagram follower message me and kind of bash me for reselling. So first of all, I don't know why she's following me. And then I looked on her page and it looked like she resells as well. So I'm like, what? And she's like, didn't you get this for free? Aren't you being kind of greedy? So maybe she's not a reseller, but has said in her bio, like, saving clothing one piece at a time or something. And I'm just like, I don't know. But she was like ranting on me. And then she's like, do you ever give to charitable donations? I'm like, okay, yeah, I do. I donate clothes that don't sell. I send money to our missionary friends that live in Africa. I give money to our church. Like, don't worry, I am not a greedy person. That being said, I sold these 2 Y2K tank tops for $50, which is amazing. I got both of these at that random little hole-in-the-wall thrift store in Council Bluffs. If you guys didn't watch that video, it's probably about a month or so back. So don't pass them up all the time. They might have some interesting stuff like this. This is a Y2K vanity tank top. I guarantee if this was at the Goodwill where all of the teens shop, this would be gone very, very quickly. And then the other one was a vanity tank top. Oops, let me show it to you just so you can see the style, because the style is really important on these Y2K tank tops. So this one was more of like a satiny type of one, almost looked like lingerie with the lace trim and the florals. So this one was from Charlotte Russe. So amazing sale there. I was very proud of that because I'm trying to get more into the style-based selling. Next up, I sold this IC by Connie K jacket. This sold for $21. This one was in a size large. It was faux suede. Seasonally, this probably would have done better in the fall, but I have had this for a little while, and this brand doesn't seem to be moving as quickly as it used to for me. This is a bundle of 2 items for $30. 2 pairs of jeans, a pair of redone jeans, which have been doing absolutely horrible for me, and a pair of Pistola jeans, which also don't do great. I tried these because they were new with tags, high rise. It didn't matter. I don't do well selling the brand. Next up were a pair of Vionic shoes for $14. I've been doing pretty well with Vionic sandals, but for some reason, some of the flats aren't doing that well for me. These ones were a pair of like burgundy, like croc embossed slip-on flats. Yeah, only 14, so made a little profit. Sold some Dansko sandals for $25. This is pretty typical unless they are like really, really new condition, or like the smooth leather ones do seem to do better than like these pattern printed ones. I have gotten $40 to $50 for some other Dansko sandals. This is the bundle of Ming Wang I was talking about, $75 for 4 items. There was a couple Ming Wang cardigan sweaters, a Masuk cardigan sweater, and a J. Jill plus size top. Normally, I definitely would get more for almost all of those items except for the J. Jill, but like I said, accepting offers. I sold this Bowden top for $21. This was a red size 16-18 top, kind of a long sleeve collared ribbed polo shirt. 21 bucks in that, bread and butter, kind of what I expected. These are a pair of Nike men's shoes that sold for $22. These were missing the insoles, so I did go ahead and list them a little bit lower, and the page is not loading. So just trust me. Let's see if the next page loads. Bundle for $70 for 6 items. Really happy about this because these were all old items. Peruvian Connection pants, dress, shirt, sweater, an Anthropology waffle top, and a pair of AG jeans. So all items that I've had for probably 6 months or more. So definitely ready to move those out. I don't really like to keep things for that long unless it's something that's going to sell for a lot of money. This sold really, really fast. So no internet, Bolo. Sorry guys, showing I have all my bars. This is definitely a Bolo item or a Bolo brand. And this is not pulling it up. So this is interesting. Let me see if a different page will load just to be curious. What do we want to look at here? My email. Let me just try to refresh my email to see if it's working. This is real life. We have been having a little bit of issues with our internet, and it looks like possibly we still are. Yeah. So might have to stop this video, try to reconnect, start it back up again. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, I think we're back. Okay, Hatch jeans, Bolo. I wouldn't say everything, but I would definitely check everything. These are a pair of maternity jeans. These were in a size 30. These sold within hours for $46. So I'd like to look for the ones that have these side panels rather than the big belly. For some reason, for me, it seems like they sell better. I didn't know the exact style of these. There wasn't a style number, so I just put straight leg because that's what they looked like to me. And they sold really fast. So be on the lookout for Hatch maternity items. Next up, I sold this Equipment Kate Moss top. This did say it was rare. When I looked at other ones that sold online, it had these eyeballs printed on it and it was silk. But I had mine for quite a while, so I just went ahead and accepted an offer of $18. Next are a pair of Echo men's shoes. These sold for $26. So these are a pair of, oops, sorry, that's my Poshmark. Accepting an offer on a pair of Allegria shoes. Yay. So I'll talk about that next week. These are like a pair of hiking, camping type of shoe. I don't pick up Echo a ton, but I feel like sometimes I still will depending on the style and what kind of condition they're in. Next up, this is a huge Bolo of this certain item. This is a Zara sweater. This sold for $72. So don't always write off a brand just because of the brand. I did look this up because it was this interesting like cowboy print, and I was like, oh, this is really cute. Turns out it's a Bolo, like people are in search of this sweater. $72. So if you see this one, definitely grab it. That was an amazing sale. I sold these Tory Burch pants for $57. These were new with tags. I think I got these at a thrift store. They were a size 4. They were the Skylar straight leg pants. These did retail for $348. So not getting anywhere near the retail, but I will definitely take $57 on those. Next up, I sold a pair of UFO sandals for $25. These were a size 7. Just a pair of like flip-flop, slip-on, comfort recovery sandals. Next, I sold these Pierre Dumas buckle. They're from the Buckle boots. Definitely got these on style. This is the type of boot that people or girls are going to be wearing to rodeos or festivals or concerts this summer. They were new, without box, cow print, faux suede, so excellent style. They retailed for $60. I got $40. I feel pretty good about that. Not very often with brands can I sell something only $20 less than retail. Next up, I sold these icebreaker shorts for $25. These are new with tags. I got these quite a while ago at a Sierra Trading Post. The buyer just messaged me saying they don't fit her right. So unfortunately, Poshmark does not allow returns for fit. So I did just tell her feel free to resell them. So sorry they didn't fit. Next up, a pair of Viore shorts that sold for $25. These are men's, size extra large cross court shorts. So I did decide to sell these myself. Some of the men's stuff I give to my brother, but sometimes I keep it for myself. Next up was this Selena Moon dress. This actually sold in a bundle on eBay recently, and a few of the things from the bundle got returned for fit. Very annoying, but I sold this right away again for $28. I think this is just a boutique brand, but I got it because of the style and because it was new with tags. Really pretty for summer. Next, a Peruvian Connection dress that sold for $12. So selling off a lot of the older Peruvian Connection stuff. This one was just this black ribbed long sleeve dress, so nothing really that special. Next up is the brand Ellsworth and Ivy. This is a sweater that sold for $30. This had the word golf printed across it. I felt like it looked very preppy, cute, kind of minimalist. Comps were pretty good on this, a little bit higher than 30, but I went ahead and accepted that offer. Next up was a Garnet Hill sweater that sold for $26. This was a large gold. It was a silk blend, like printed sweater. So definitely the silk blend did have a factor on it that made it worth a little bit more than just a regular Garnet Hill. Next up was this Doen top. This sold for $65. I did pay around $30 for this at a consignment store, but I know that this brand sells really well for me, and this style is very cute and very, very on trend. So that's why I went ahead and paid up for it. Let me see, how much did I make on that? So $52. So I still made like 20 something dollars. I mean, I knew it would sell fast, and it was a quick profit. Next up are a pair of Cabby jeans. These sold for $45. I know, that's shocking for Cabby, but these were new with tags, and they were a style, apparently, that does really well. They were the Harlow style. I've never seen this style before in Cabby jeans, so if you have, let me know how it's sold for you. Obviously, being new with tags makes it much more valuable. Next, I sold some Everlane shorts for $24. I don't pick up a ton of Everlane, but I did decide to try out these shorts. They were also in a larger size, at a size 31. A little bit of a longer length, which is definitely nice. Some people want that, so happy with that sale. I sold this Brahmin wallet for $90. Brahmin is definitely a Bolo brand. This was new with tags. This was the Addy Melbourne wallet. I've sold some that were more of a solid color for a little bit more money, but I'm still definitely happy with that sale. Next up was a Reformation dress that sold for $41. This was in a size small, Esmeralda paint splatter dress. That was the title of it. Reformation still is selling pretty decent for me with their dresses especially. I wouldn't pick up like jeans or every single top, but there are certain pieces that do well. This is the brand Killstar, I think like a goth brand. I have had this for quite a while, and it only sold for $16. It was new with tags. It was a Carrie collaboration, so if you guys know the movie Carrie, obviously, that's what this shirt was all about. Next up was a Miss Sook cardigan that sold for $28. This was in a size 0X, which I think is just an extra large. Is that correct? Pink Valentine's I used. Tank top and, right? Was it a set? Yeah. Tank top and blazer together. So that was great. Also, if you guys haven't given this video a thumbs up, please do it down below. I've been doing pretty good with all of my other videos, getting 100 thumbs up or more, except for my what sold videos. For some reason, my what sold videos don't get as many. So if you haven't done that, it's like takes you a second and it helps me out. Next up, a pair of American Eagle shorts that I sold for $20. So that's shocking because I don't really pick those up. They are the 90s boyfriend short, which is a style that's great, but I got these because of the print. So they had little rainbows on them, stars, cherries. So I just felt like that was very cute. And I guess my thoughts were right because they did sell. $21 for this Varley sweatshirt. This was in a size extra small. It was the Roselle half zip. So this is the style that tends to do better for them. But I feel like the one that I sold for really, really good was black. It wasn't Sherpa or anything either. So maybe the black ones do the best. Allen Edmonds shoes for $24. This was a style that I never see from Allen Edmonds. These ones were like a gray slip-on shoe, almost like a pair of Vans instead of their regular dress shoes. And they sold for $24. And then my last sale on Poshmark for the week were these Dansko sandals that sold for $25. These ones were in a size 8. They were a patent leather strap, kind of a softer material, stretchy material in the middle. So 25 bucks on that, I will take it. Let's move on to eBay. How do I want to put myself? Let me just move myself down there. We have this vintage Y2K dress that sold for $40 with a coupon. I got this at a local thrift world, this dainty little lace with the tie and the bows. That is on trend. The brand was My Michelle. Not really a brand you need to be looking for. And then those little dainty trim. What is this trim called? It's like very small, squiggly. I don't know how to explain that. Anyway, midi length as well. Really cute. 40 bucks. Yay. Next up are a pair of Lululemon shorts sold for $20 with a 15% off discount. These did have some pilling that for some reason my sweater shavers couldn't get off. So if you guys have a sweater shaver that actually works good, comment it down below. The one I have is like a rechargeable one, but for some reason I just feel like it does not do very well. Because I was like going over that area multiple times and I'm just like, what? So maybe I need to get a new one. Next up was a vintage dog sweatshirt that sold for $16.20 with a coupon. The more people I meet, the more I like my dog. I really relate to this, but I didn't want to wear this sweatshirt. It's a little bit too big for me, but it's very cute. I'm glad somebody got it because it's actually so funny. Next up was the brand Leslie Evers. These were a pair of pants that sold for $35 with a coupon. Apparently a good bolo. A couple people have told me good brand to be on the lookout for. These ones were linen blend. They were wide leg crops in a plus size, so really happy about that. I sold this Eileen Fisher sweater for $21 with a coupon. This was a green color, size small, organic cotton and silk blend, so the smaller sizes don't tend to do as well, but good material can help. Next up was this Helly Hansen hoodie, $30 with a coupon. Very USA summer vibes. Helly Hansen, the blue, white, and red. So happy that that sold. I sold these Goldie jeans again. They sold for $37.80. I sold these recently. Got returned on eBay for fit. Sold them again. Let's hope it sticks this time. These ones were the Riley high-rise straight jeans. And yeah, happy with that sale. This is another brand that I don't think you guys would possibly pick up or maybe don't even know about. And to be honest, I didn't really either. The brand June and V. This sold for $30 with a coupon. It was new with tags, plus size 3X. That's what the tag looks like. So all of those factors is why I got it. Plus it was, oh wait, it was rayon. For some reason I thought it was linen. This gave me just festival peasant boho vibes. So style, sorry, I feel like something's in my eye. Style, size, new with tags. Those are all factors that I used, and this sold very, very fast for $30 with a coupon. So be on the lookout, maybe. This is a Quince cardigan that sold for $27 extremely fast. This was in a size extra large. It was 100% merino wool. It did have some pilling. I did mention that in my description, and it still sold in a day. Next up was this Talbot's blazer that sold for $45 with a coupon. Size 16, new with tags, kind of like a tweed-ish boucle style blazer. As you can see, I'm making sales with coupons on almost everything. So I would highly suggest putting a coupon on your eBay store. Next up was a ModCloth tank top, $25 with a coupon. Forest summer, had all these little animals and leaves and flowers on it. So very cute. ModCloth does do better in the plus sizes. Here's another brand that I basically have never picked up before. Cactus, $27 with a coupon. Got this again. We have the factor stacking. So new with tags, plus size in a size 3X, and a linen blend. So all factors. I would not pick this up in the middle of winter, but I definitely would starting in the spring. Next up was this brand Anatomy. This sold for $35 with a coupon. This sold in a day. This is a brand that is made in Italy. They do tend to have pretty plain minimalist type items. So I was really happy with that it sold so quickly. I sold this Eileen Fisher shirt for $23. This was in a size extra large. It was an Irish linen, but it did have this little stain. And I tried a couple of times to get that out and I couldn't. So I did list it for a little bit lower. Another pair of Lululemon shorts. These sold for $22. These ones were in a size 10, high rise, just like bike shorts. A little bit of fading on the label, but still sold. Another pair of Lululemon. These sold for $27. These were actually old. These were size 6, but I think that a reason that helped them to sell quicker is because when I measured the inseam, they were 33 inches. So I did put long and tall in my description, and those are harder to find, I have to say, as a tall person. Next up, I sold this Eileen Fisher sweater. This sold extremely fast in the spring. Extra large. It was a wool and yak blend. So if it's still a really good item, even if it's more of a winter item, I would definitely still list it. Again, some pilling. Didn't matter. Sold extremely quickly. Another Catherine's top. This sold for $25 with a coupon. So you see this. It's very summery, tropical vibes. The florals, the leaves, and in a size 3X. For some reason, it seems like for my plus size, 3X is like my magic number. My magic size that is selling really well. Next up is a Vineyard Vines shirt that sold for $21. This is very, very neon bright pink. This was 100% linen. Yeah, so pretty good sale there. I wish it could have sold a little bit higher, but that's okay. This is a style-based pickup, sold for $30, just with promoted listing. So no coupon here. This was 100% silk. That was a factor. It was this brand ICE, but very cool style here. It gave me witchy, goth, things like that. So those are lots of keywords there that I used. This was an Arc'teryx jacket that sold for $50 with a coupon. This had a company logo. This sat in my bin for a month or so, debating on if I should try to get it out. I just decided not to with this and the Patagonia that I believe sold last week. And both of them sold extremely quickly, even with a company logo. So be on the lookout for Arc'teryx for sure. Bolo brand. Here's what their little like logo guy mascot looks like. But even with the company logo, I would still pick it up. That was amazing. I was so happy. Another style-based pickup. This is a crochet tank top sold for $27. This is not a brand, I mean 2X Trends. This looks like something to be at some cheap mall. It was new with tags, however. Size large, but hello, this is very summer festival vibes. Crochet tank top, like fringe. Oh my gosh, so cute. Here comes Ellie. Okay, just my dog. Next up, a pair of Judy blue jeans that sold for $12. So normally I wouldn't sell them that cheap, but you can see there was some staining right here, and then there was another one on the other leg, and I tried to get these out, and they didn't. So I listed them for $15, and somebody offered me, Ellie, get out of there. Now she's going over to the cat food, but now sometimes she goes into the litter box and tries to pull stuff out. So that's actually disgusting. Ellie, stay out. I am watching you. I'm right here. Don't even think about it. She's staring at me. Okay, Catherine's dress sold for $25 with a coupon. This was in a size 2X. It was black and teal striped with this little like jewel detail at the chest. I'm happy with that. Pretty quick sale. I sold this Ming Wang tank top for $33 with a coupon. This was in a size 2X black, so just a basic black tank top, but people do like to layer these for work underneath their jackets, or maybe just when it's hot, have a tank top, so that was great. Next up is the brand Scramble. This is apparently, I think, a Lag and Look brand that sold for $27 with a coupon. That's what the tag looked like. Actually looks like I was supposed to spell it with a K. That's my bad, but very artsy, boho looking. Next up was a Lululemon Swiftly Tech that sold for $21. This kind of was an older one, striped. I think the solid colors do a little bit better. I sold this J. Crew dress for $19.13. New with tag, size 4, $128. Obviously, does not matter. Could not find a stock photo. Not the best style of what's on trend right now, but still made some profit. I sold these Fly London shoes for $25. These were a pair of slip-on leather sandals in a size 8. So Fly London is a brand I like to look for. I sold another pair of Fly London shoes last week, so happy to keep picking that up. Oh, it looks like the Patagonia jacket's in this week's. So here it is. This sold for $55. Again, had the company embroidery on the sleeve. High West Distillery. Didn't matter. I was getting offers on it right away, so I was happy to take that offer of $55. I sold these On Cloud shoes for $38. These were women's, size 10. These were the Cloud Go sneakers. On Cloud is still doing pretty well for me. Obviously, I sold the men's this week, and then I sold these as well. So keep looking for that brand. Next up, I sold this Saks Fifth Avenue sweater for $32. I've already sold this once. This was a cashmere sweater. Sold again, so I hope this one doesn't get returned this time. This Vineyard Vines dress sold really fast for $27, which I'm kind of shocked about. It had an all over whale print, but I don't know. Vineyard Vines sells better in the summer. I didn't think it was that cute, but somebody did. These are a pair of Free People beach pants sold for $25. These ones are tan, cotton, just loose fit jogger pants. This is kind of the style of Free People Beach. Next up was this vintage Halloween shirt that sold for $24.50 with a coupon. So all over print, turtleneck. I feel like this is so, so cute. I love vintage Halloween, so I was happy somebody got that. I mean, in May, that's kind of crazy. Next up, we have this Lululemon jacket that sold for $30 with a coupon. This was a older jacket, size 8. It was a purple full zip jacket, but some of the older stuff can still do well. Just do your research on the style. This Sundance sweater sold extremely quickly for $32.40. This was new with tags, ribbed, long sleeve, kind of turtleneck style, petite, medium, and it was organic cotton. So really excellent sale there. Next up, I sold these Justin boots for $30. These plain ones aren't going to go for a ton of money, but I will still pick them up if they're like my normal price for shoes. They were in a size 10 and a half. I sold this Barefoot Dreams hoodie for $50, guys. So don't always like not discount. Don't always like think bad. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Barefoot Dreams sometimes can do good. Now, this one I had a feeling about it because it wasn't their normal cardigan sweaters that are like completely oversaturated. This is a hoodie. It was really cute, and it was also new with tags. So I was very happy about that sale, also with a coupon. Icy by Connie K shirt sold really fast for $30. So this one's different than some of the other stuff I picked up. Again, seasonal here. These bright colors, the florals, do sell better in the spring and summer. So I think that's why that one sold so quickly. Here's another Lululemon purple jacket that sold for $45 with a coupon. This one was a Define jacket. So Define jackets are still very, very on trend. Kind of an older one, but it still sold really fast. Next up are a pair of Veronica Beard pants that sold for $25. I did realize that the hem was out on one of them. Someone suggested that I take it to a tailor. I didn't want to because I don't think they're worth that much. I just sold them really fast for 25 bucks, made my profit, and got them out of my house. These are Goldie shorts sold for $75. So be on the lookout. These are the long Parker style, the Parker long. The Parker long sells better than the regular Parker. My other ones I sold to a viewer for 50 bucks. These ones $75. So that is amazing, and they both sold in like a day. Next up are a pair of Lululemon leggings that sold for $30 with a coupon. These were a pair of Align leggings. They did better because they were in a size 14, I think, so a little bit of a larger size, plus the Aligned as well. They were camo, a little bit of pilling, still sold. This Viore hoodie sold for $30 with a coupon. This definitely had a pretty good amount of wash wear, but Viore is still very trendy. People want it. Comfortable, well-known athletic brand, so I am happy with that. This is another brand that I don't think a lot of resellers pick up, and it is Logo Lori Goldstein. This sold for $22.50. Again, we have the plus size and then the style. So the florals and the bright colors are selling really well right now. So I will continue to look for certain things within the brand. I sold this Torrid dress for $28. This was a maxi dress. It was new with tags in a size 3X. Crochet dress, really cute, really pretty. I don't know if I have anything else here on page 2 from May 2nd. So let's check. We do. We have another style-based Y2K tank top. This one sold for $20. This one was just from the brand Kokomo. Had the big lace detail with the floral. So really happy that these style-based things are selling. Next up was the brand Bape, like a bathing ape. This sold for $20. I have had this for a while. It was a men's size medium, but it fit like a small. So I feel like it was kind of small for a guy. Those are red nails, which means I've had those for Christmas. I barely paint my nails, so I remember when I see those pictures. And that's it. I did have a few personal sales to tell you guys about. So if you guys are following me on Instagram, I have been trying to put up every time I'm putting my items into my drafts to let you guys get first dibs before it goes out. And that's what I ended up doing. And I did make some good sales from that this week. So let me thank the people. I started trying to write them down. I hope I didn't forget anybody. First up, I don't know how to say your name. So I don't know if you watch my YouTube videos or only follow me on Instagram. Her name is Kanani. She's from Hawaii, which I'm pretty jealous. She got a pair of Judy Blue jeans and a pair of Ariat jeans for $55. Jennifer bought that new with tags Quince purse for $50. That was so pretty. Heidi bought a pair of Brooks for me for $25. Francis bought a pair of Free People Movement, or I mean, not a pair, a Free People Movement hoodie for $30. And then my friend Lindy, that I know in person from volleyball, bought a pair of Lululemon shorts for her daughter for $15. So thank you for everybody who purchased this from me personally. Thank you for everybody that purchased this from me in general. But when you do this through Venmo, it doesn't take out fees and it helps me. I can give you a lower price and it makes me a little bit more money. So I really, really appreciate everybody's support in business of my clothing, and even just watching my channel. That helps me as well. So I am still not good at remembering to tell my numbers, so I'm just popping this in the end of the video really quick. For my personal sales that I made off platform, I did make a profit of $118.28. Mercari, I made $162.28 this week, which is amazing for Mercari. eBay, I made $769.85. Poshmark, I made $667.74. That did leave me with a profit for the week, $1,718.15. Profit per day, $245.45. Very happy with that. It is almost to my goal that I had made at the beginning of the year, but then I kind of died off on it because I went off of my $20 profit or more. But I think I can still reach it if I keep growing my store. So that's my numbers. Thanks. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down below what was your best sale this week. Excited to maybe learn a new brand from you guys. I am going shopping at my favorite consignment store today. I need to, what else? Maybe take some pictures first. We'll see. Edit another video. I do have a Thrift With Me video coming out soon. That's pretty fun. So yeah, that's it. Hope you guys have a great weekend.